good morning to you, you sexy mother hobbards. It's Saturday. It's time for an alternative paper review. First up to the riddled with dementia delusions of the Daily Express this morning. I say riddled with dementia because it is an ageing institution and it is quite clearly completely out of its mind. Hunt, we've done the hard yards. Now I will cut taxes and bet on growth. Based on what, though, Jeremy? Where is this growth going to come from? And how are you paying for the tax cuts? What taxes are you going to cut? If they cut inheritance tax and appease some of their backbenchers, that's not going to grow the economy in any real sense. If they cut income tax, national insurance, yes, that'll put money into people's pockets, but you're going to have to find a part of the exchequer to pay for it. And you guys don't have any money to do that. Do you remember? Because you've got this national debt that you have to keep servicing. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. I'm so sick of the sound of my own voice.
Good. Well, why don't you shut the fuck up then?
Right. Yeah. I suppose I should. Should we move on?
Oh, now what the fuck is this shit?
Over to the Mirror now with the big party political story of the week. Bring it on, says Angela Rayner, as cops begin their probe. Now this is the constantly, endlessly perpetuated Daily Mail fueled obsession / story with Angela Rayner, her council house that she used to own, but she was kind of living with her husband, and so which one was defined as her main residence? And so then when she sold it, was she in line, like, should she have paid capital gains tax? Now her tax advisors told her she doesn't owe anything. The police already looked into it and said there's no case to answer. The prominent, highly respected and high profile tax specialist / journalist Dan Needle has been on Twitter the last few days. He's written a piece, I think, for The Spectator, where he's like, look, the most she's probably going to owe is like $3,000, if that. But if she says that, she doesn't owe anything, she's probably managed to get that down through expenditure, like money that she's put into the property, and then you get a discount. So it might be that there is genuinely no capital gains tax payable, like it's just negligible. So that could be the scenario that we're talking about here. But the Mail, the Telegraph, everyone is going crazy, saying, well, if it's as innocent as that, then she should just publish the advice that she was given by the tax advisors from whom she sought the advice before. Personally, here's what I hope this is all about, right? I hope that she does know that she's in the clear, that she has had advice from these tax specialists, that the HMRC have already looked into it, as have the police, and all of them have agreed, there's no foul play here or anything, right? And they, Labour, are just letting the Mail get themselves into a right old tizzy. And then after days of coverage, it just turns out to be a complete waste of everyone's time, and they've made the Mail look incredibly silly. What's next? Over to the Eye, guys. UK intelligence officials targeted in a honey trap sex plots by Chinese spies. Oh, that's a bit saucy, isn't it? So yes, this is the story that Chinese agents are trying to start sexual relationships, guys. Right. And the Eye have got 6 separate sources who have spoken to them saying, yeah, look, this is prevalent. There's this one lady, she tried to lure this one guy, and the idea is that they get them to do stuff on film with them. Maybe they're married, maybe the stuff that they're doing on film is super sordid or illegal, and then they use that footage or that situation or whatever to blackmail the security services individual into divulging secrets. So China then learns secrets about how the UK operates, about our missions, about where we've got people placed throughout the world. And it's scary stuff, right? Because worst case scenario, China could learn our nuclear codes or something. Or perhaps most realistic scenario, they could learn our Wi-Fi passwords. For those of you who were blissfully unaware, recently compromised Tory MP William Ragg was recently photographed with his own Wi-Fi password clearly on view in a shop. Do China really need to run these sorts of operations to get their hands on the goodies? Do they, really? We've got cabinet ministers who are so careless with their own technology, frequently in inquiries. I don't know, I lost that. You could just follow a cabinet minister for 2 or 3 hours and they'd probably lose their mobile phone. Or just wait until they have an official portrait done. There's a password in the background. Honestly, like, if anything, our politicians are so haphazard and a glutton for punishment. They're so shit. If anything, just let them have the sexual encounter. You know? I'm sure they feel bad about losing a document in Brighton Station, losing their WhatsApps over and over again. Just let them have a blowjob, for God's sake. Finally, to the Sun. Ramsay's kitchen nightmare. Right. Ramsay's kitchen nightmare. But the only way I want to hear more about this is if Gordon Ramsay was murdered in his own kitchen. Like, oh, a man who's made a living out of being hugely abusive to his own employees. Oh, that happened to him, did it? Oh, that's very sad. And at the risk of sounding a bit victim-blamey, maybe he had it coming. But no, this is of course the story that his £13 million pub has been invaded by squatters and he's at the end of his tether. Good. Okay, it's good to round off on a positive news story, isn't it? Anyway, that's it for this one. I am out. See you all tomorrow.